Okay, welcome everyone. We'll start our lesson 3. Today lesson will go through LO3. My name is Anjum Satar and my email address, if you need me, please drop the email. And LO3, which is be able to evaluate various tools and approaches to strategies implementation. So we'll discuss how we can implement strategies and what approaches we can use to be look around and making effective implementation of strategy. The word strategy mean action plan, which derive from the Greek word strategist. Okay, so today lesson key command word we have analyze, apply, recommend, and the indicative content what we supposed to be learn. Use the various model tools, develop strategic option, organization, and we'll discuss effectiveness, Montesberg strategies, immigrant strategies, deliberate, and we'll go through UNSAF metrics, strategies, balance, mandatory card analysis, sensitivity analysis, organization integration, merger acquisitions, product portfolio. All this will be focused ethics, ownership, stakeholders. So all this will be focused in our lesson today. Okay, scale 1 to 10, rate your current knowledge about strategy management, strategic options, and appraise and implementation. Okay, so what do you know about strategy or grant your knowledge about? Do we know anything about? So please spend few minutes, just reflect it. How much we know? Scale 1 to 10. Spend 2-3 minutes. Okay, thank you. So always good to be if you are 4 now or 5 now or 6 now. So you will see, how much we are improving and we knowing, the new model and techniques. Okay, so first 3.1 we have create appropriate vision, mission, strategic goals for an organization. The strategic plan start with the clear define the mission. Mission, what is the mission? So according to Montesberg, define the mission described as an organization basic function in society in terms of the product, service, its product for its customer. Clearly, business mission should be each of the following elements. The purpose, why the business exists, to create the wealth for the shareholder. Does they exist to satisfy the needs for all stakeholders? Strategies and strategic scope. Mission statement provide the commercial logic for the business. Define 2 things, the product or the service offer. Competitive position. Scope defines boundaries and operations set by management, and these are the boundaries set in terms of the geography, market, methods, and decision management make about the strategic scope, policies, and standard behavior. A mission needs to be translated into everyday actions. For example, if the business mission includes the delivering outstanding customer service, then policies standards should be created and mentioned to test delivery. These might include the monitoring the speed of the telephone calls, answers in the skill call center, and numbers of the complaint received from the customer to extend the positive feedback. Okay, what the strategic plan is all about. So the values and the culture we need to be create the supportive culture in our organization that will help you to be implement our strategies. So beliefs, culture mean beliefs, norms, value, loyalty, commitment that we can get from the staff, and the guidance, expected behavior. So that's we want to look around when we'll implement the strategy in our organization. Okay, what role does the mission statement play in the marketing planning? In practice, a strong mission statement can help in 3 main ways. It provides an outline how marketing plan should seek to fulfill the mission. It provides the means of evaluating the screening. Okay, what is the value? So value from foundation of business management style. Value provides the justification behavior. Influence the marketing decision. Consider the following example, like a craft food, we set our sights becoming the global snack powerhouse. So the portfolio brand people love Starbucks to inspire neutral human spirit, and one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. So that's the key message. We believe in better sky. So that's carry on happening. Strategic planning can be known as a long-term planning, corporate plan. Consider in the longer term. Think about the time horizon, 5 years. Think about your stakeholder, think about the competitive advantage what we want to create, and think about the competencies required to become effective and implement the effective plan. And the planning is very important in the survival or the sustain of any organization. Anybody any question, guys? Those are listening, if you have a question, you can drop me email please on my email address which I mentioned. Okay, next now we're looking the strategy. There is no universal acceptable definition about strategy. The word is used in different context to the meaning different thing. The following definition: the strategy is a pattern of activity that seek to achieve the objective. So strategies will make to achieve our objective: resource, operation, environmental changes, long term. So why bother about the strategic planning? If you don't have a plan, you don't have a set nav, you don't have a set nav, don't know what. Force organization to look ahead, improve fit with the environment, better use of resources, provide direction and vision, and help monitor progress and ensure goals. Okay, disadvantage can be time consuming, may be difficult, the rapid change can become state jacket, and then some unplanned activities, and can become bureaucratic, and is less the relevant to crisis. That can be issues in strategy. So rational can be top down and bottom up approaches. We do the strategic analysis, strategic choices, and strategy into action. All we need to when we do strategic planning. So these are the steps involved in the strategic planning. So what is set the mission, establish the objective, look external appraisal, generate strategic options, stakeholder appraisal, strategic choices, plan and implement, and review. So that is the crucial elements within organization. Okay, a modern adaptation, Johnson and Scholl and Whitney models. Strategic planning is very important. Is a rational model. It consists of three elements: is strategic position analysis, strategic choices, and strategy into action. That's the implementation which we are doing. And when we implement, so we need to look around what we prepared first. Strategic choices, when we look the strategies, strategic long-term choices, what you have, what option you have. Generate the strategic option. Is the growth, you want to grow, you want to acquire other company, you want diversification or concentration, you want to. And evaluation of the option, assess their relative merits and the feasibility. Strategies and the option organization will pursue. There could be more than one strategy chosen, but there will be a chances of inherent dangers, disadvantages made, and although there are the techniques, evaluating the specific options. And the selection is often subjective and likely to be influenced by values, managers, and the group with their interest in the organization. So in addition, deciding the scope, direction of an organization, choice, and also need to be made about to be achieve the goals. Broadly, there are the two ways the strategy can be pursued: internal development, organic growth; external development, mergers, acquisition. joint venture, franchising, and licensing. Okay, that can be looked around. So that's 3.1. We look the strategies and how we can implement through joint venture, through acquisition, through the acquisition. Okay, so next, the purpose of suitable organization fit strategy plan. The strategy into action is keep the steps, the strategic planning process, strategic analysis, strategic choices, as we discussed in the previous. So there is approach called helicopter views. The corporate strategy is established for the future direction for the entire organization. Today we focus on the business level strategies, strategic position. So what we need to look around, do environmental analysis. So what is environmental external? You learn about pest, political, economic, social, technological. You learn about strategic choices, what we have. Yes. So you want business, you want local, you want national, you want through acquisition and alliance. And action, evaluating, organizing, processes, chaining practices, all this we need to be look around, like recruitment, selection through agencies, through staffing. So all we need to be look around how we can make and run the organization more effectively, and strategies we can implement in the organization. Anybody any question, guys? Okay, next now, business level strategy. This is about individual business unit compete in the market. The strategic business unit is the fully functional. Like if we look the Ford have different models. So Ford Fiesta, Ford Focus, Ford Mondeo. They have a segment of market, and that's the strategic business unit. And for each, we can develop a different strategy for it to become successful and to achieve our organization objective effectively. And that's we need to be focused. Okay, what is the organization? So SBUs is the strategic business units, business activities we can achieve. Thus we need to look around. Okay, business level choices. Identify the strategic business unit. What basis the competitive strategies are available to SBUs? How do SBUs achieve and sustain competitive advantage? Could also consider the hyper competition. Hyper mean very high. Hyperinflation, couple of you heard about. So like so high competition, like think about in the food industry, there is a big margin but is a huge competition. Like in various the online selling competition is rapidly increasing. Anybody can enter. So competitive strategies achieving advantages through the game theory. Okay, SBUs usually refer to the distance business units, large divisions like which I mentioned. In case of okay, so example of Nestle. So SBUs, think about the coffee and the beverage, pet cares, nutrition, chocolate, and all the sweet. So that's the section, and these are all the SBUs. Okay, identifying the market-based criteria, customer types, product types, competitor capability-based criteria, strategic capability, in internet-based SBUs. So strategic business unit is a part of organization. Internal requirement product, external similar product customer, and make the decision to be single outlet to sell SBUs or not, or multiple. So you have to design and you have to plan to before implement. So SBUs based on the competitive strategy can be a price, differentiation, hybrid, and focus. These can be strategies. So competitive advantage can be sustainability. We want a hyper competitive strategies, collaboration, and the game theory. So according to the Michael Porter gave the generic strategies. Porter generic strategy: cost leadership, cost focus, differentiation, and differentiation focus. So these are all the strategies which is Michael Porter used, and the Michael Porter generic strategies are very famous and very popular in academia. So Porter argued that there are the two fundamental ways to achieving the competitive advantage. Cost is based on the achieving the lower SBUs. Differentiation is in the product and working in all small groups, identify the issues. Okay, Porter achieving the competitive advantage, achieving via cost. So we have to look around the input. We look the economies of scale. We look the cost efficiency through experience and product, the process designs. So relocating the countries with the lower costs and the labor, cost saving through volume, using organizational experience, designing the product with the cost saving, and locating organization close to the key market. Okay, how could your strategic business unit achieve the sustainable differentiation, creating a uniqueness in the way the customer value? Like think about Apple, think about Samsung. What they differentiate them? Nokia. Yes, so Nokia was the leader, but they not sustain it, so no innovation. So organizations seek to achieve the advantage by serving the target market, create the difficult imitation, which is difficult for the competitors to copy your the way you do the business and your strategies. Key competitors. So if you look here, so two types of, we have a Mercedes and BMW. So sport image, yes, working in the pair, and we can consider two premium brand, and how BMW compete using the differentiation with the same luxury car. Okay, then we have a strategy clock. Another ways to approaching the generic strategies, the market focus allow the continual focus, and horizon zones feasible strategy, differentiation focus, differentiation low cost, hybrid. We have to look around in different times, different strategies can be used. Okay, delta model, which is given that strategy is not a vast, it is love, defining the essence of the strategy as a competitive advantage, denote the conflict as the way the thinking about the business. Rejecting this notion, we no longer confrontation with our partners. Other forms of cooperation can be considered. The extreme is non-conflict, indeed the love. The product central mentality is the constraining upon the mindset and include the customer, supplier, complementators, as well as the constituents. So all related dependents, and we need to look around the supply chain. It's very important for the sustainability, so we can look around how we can maximize our advantage over the competitors. Okay. So the center strategy is the customer. The customer is a king. Without it, we can't sustain in a business. So customer driving force for all the action understand by the company. Thus, the effort of the organization have to do is the config high value added proposition in the product when they want to sell it. Competitive advantage, resource based view, delta model, which we can use it. Then industry business, Porter framework, lower costs, activities, revivery, resource-based view, corporation, resource capability, core competencies, core product strategies, and real estates. Delta model extend the enterprise, the firms, customer, the supplier, the best product, total customer solutions, suitability, product, effectiveness, customer targeting, innovation. That's, the three model we can look and we can apply. The business level choices can be, we can look around, identify the business unit, which we discuss, competitive advantage. Could you consider the hyper competition, use the competitive strategies and achieve the advantage, through the game theory. Okay, competitive strategy hyper is by given the Richard as well argued that the market is the consistent state of change and a high level of competition need to be think different from more stable one, and a hyper competition based on the speed, initiative, ability to imitate, strategic repositioning, and block first mover advantages and overcome the barriers. Okay. Then the winning new 7S approach, we can look around. That's, we need to be a focus on superior stakeholder satisfaction, strategic and position of for speed and position for surfaces and shift, the rule of and signaling and spontaneous. All this we need to be look around. Cooperative strategy, the strategy in which, the firms resource-based view strategy assert the competitive advantage and the superior performance of an organization and explain the distinctive of its capabilities. Resources and competencies, strategic capabilities are the capabilities of organization contribute the long-term survival and competitive advantage. Resources are the asset and organization have and are call upon, so we need to be look around, and competencies are the ways the asset is used and deployed effective. Okay, the component of the strategic capability, we need to look around the strategic resources, what we have a physical, financial, and human, but we need to be look around how we deploy the competency way, the utilization of resources, ability to raising fund, and how the people gain experience. That's, we need to, and that'll help, long-term competitive advantage for organization. So competencies, capability never stay the same. Capabilities become redundant. You have to innovate them. You have to carry on improving the knowledge and skill. If you stop learning, you become older. That's, we need to be think about how we can become more productive. That's, we need to be rigid, so we need to be make sure. Dynamic is mean change with the passage of time. Your capability was ability you think it was fruitful in 1980, but not now. Yes, you have to renovate them according to the innovation, according to the environment, according to the technological change. If you don't change yourself, you stay there, it's become older, so it's very difficult for the sustain the company. Generic dynamic is sensing capability. You should have a constant scanning what is happening outside through research and development. Seizing, yes, of addressing the opportunity through new product. Reconfiguration, the new product and the processes require the new renewal and reconfiguration capabilities and investment. Okay, threshold and distinctive capability. Threshold is the basic benchmark, that's called qualifier. So that's we need to be, so we can compete. Distinctive capability, you can differentiate yourself and you become a winner in the market, like, Apple, which is, they did, and created those in with the passage of time. That's help, the company to sustain longer in the market and achieve the competitive advantage in the organization. So that's, any question from anyone? Okay. Then next we have a threshold and distinctive capability. So we always have a threshold capabilities and distinctive capabilities. So for this threshold resources required, distinctive resources required, threshold competencies. So capabilities and competency, if you pass your driving test, you're capable, but you should display few months or few weeks newly passed plate on your car, because we not competent, we can make mistakes. So that's why it's crucial. We have to improve and become more competent, not just capable. So as a in our organization, so that's we need to use. Okay, core competencies for each role is linked the set of the skills, activities, and resources that together to deliver the customer value. Differentiate a business from its competitors, potentially extend, deployed market changes, new opportunities arise, like value-added product, online booking, online tracking, regular feedback, and giving something extra to customer. That's, will help. So strategic capability and strategic competitive, the four criteria capability can be assessed in terms of providing the basis for achieving sustainable competitive advantage. So value, variety, inimitability, and organization sports. That's that will help. So that's model VRIO. The value, do the capability exist? The value to the customer. Royalty, do the capability exist? That no and the fewer. Inimitability, are the capability difficult and costly competitors to obtain? And organization support on those lines. Okay. VRO is the value of the strategic capabilities. We need to take the advantage and opportunity and neutralize the threats. Priority, rare capability, those possess uniqueness, one organization or one or the few others. And priority could be temporary and patent expire and the key individual can leave the brand. Okay, inimitability capability, those are the competitor find difficult and costly to be imitated to obtain are the substitutes. So the competitive advantage can be built on the unique and resources and key individual and the IT systems. That's we need to, and that is a crucial element. Sustainable advantages is more often found the competency, the way the resources are managed and utilized. Okay, stakeholder analysis, we can keep, satisfy, monitor only, engage, and keep informed. Stakeholders mean anybody who has any interest in the business. Those are called the stakeholders, and stakeholders management is very crucial for the sustainability. We have a different metrics. We can use it, power distance and various other stakeholder metrics, which will be available on, and I'll discuss in the following lessons. And we of course a couple of you not online now, so I can't really play the Kahoot, but we can go through in the next lesson. And these are the recommended books we can read as well, and to further enhance your understanding about the strategy implementation. So we discuss about VRIO model, resource-based view. We discuss about competencies and capabilities, and we discuss support and generic strategies, and all these are the crucial to understand when we'll do the implementation of the strategy. Okay, that's all today lesson, and I hope speak you all during our next lesson. In the meanwhile, if you have any question, please drop me email. Thanks for listening and attending. Bye bye.